Uh, the obvious Persona 5. Let's
Oh
not.
my
Okay.
god.
Okay.
Let's not get
So
out.
no. I will take this. I'll take this.
Okay.
Proceed. You have the floor.
Let me ask you something.
All right.
What is the biggest failing Atlas did with Persona 5 that wasn't royal?
What? That wasn't royal. All right, fair enough.
What is the biggest failing of Persona 5 that wasn't royal?
Persona 4 Golden. It comes out. It's great. Flowers it rightfully deserves.
Right.
Save for like certain characters. I won't name names. But then you get news of Persona 5 in the works, and then it gets delayed, and then it gets delayed again, and the fan base is starting to get rabid and insane and downright insufferable, to the point where it explodes over when we actually get a release date and it comes right out. Honestly, this is just a personal gripe I have more than anything.
Even before Royal, I thought one of the biggest failings of Persona 5 is its story, because let's not forget that the reason they had to keep delaying this is because they had to keep scrapping the game and the story and starting over. They did this about 2 times, right? There are 2 versions of Persona 5 that we'll never see, probably.
Yeah.
And my problem is that the tempo we got feels like such a thrown together last minute, well, we have to put something out so we can call it Persona 5 and move on with this project, like they did with Final Fantasy 15, even though I like 15. That's what happened to it too, was just throw something together, push it out the door, so we can wash our hands of it and move on to the next project. I feel like that is one of the biggest failings of 5.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing with both of you, and I honestly, personally think Arashi was a little more on the mark because it adds into what I genuinely think is the biggest failing of Persona 5. Why was Persona 5 released for both the PS3 and the PS4?
Well, it's because it kept getting delayed until the PS4 released.
Exactly.
Yep.
But here's the question. If it didn't get delayed as much and it only released on the PS3, because this game was like in development around when the PS4 was coming out and everything. If it only released on the PS3, would it be as negative in our eyes as it is today?
Okay, here's my problem with that though. If it released only for the PS3, that means we would have got one of the earlier versions that we know nothing about, and it could have been a completely different game for better or worse, so I think that doesn't hold anyway, personally.
But again, like, imagine if it was like, just imagine again, right? The same game that we got today pushed, like the delay window was not as big. They figured this shit out and everything. They, like, in an ideal world and everything, they figured this shit out and they released it, like, I don't know, 2013 or 2014 or something.
So,
then let me finish. And then, around 2019 or 2020, on the PS4, we get Persona 5 Royal. Like, in my eyes, I feel like that would have hurt significantly less than Persona 5 on the PS3, on the PS4. Oh, 3 years later, we're getting Persona 5 Royal. Oh, in the exact same window, we're getting Persona 5 The Phantom Strikers.
I feel like that's more of a topic of the issues with Persona 5 than it is with the Persona 5 release. Because it came out, and here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Because like Persona 4, right? Persona 4 came out, and it was only on the PS2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it re-released years later on the Vita. Nobody had a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I understand what you're saying about would we see it as negatively if it released on the PS3 in like 2013 or whatever, as it is now, right? Let's remove reality from the occasion, right?
Right.
We got Persona 5 as it is right now, back then.
Right.
And then, like, 2017, 2018 comes around, we get Royal. As it is, right? As it is. No offense, but I still feel like I would be upset at Royal because of Royal. Because it literally has its failings, or that it came out too soon after Persona 5.
Yeah.
It's that its failings is that from a core level, it doesn't work unless you change the entire end of the game to just be that now. Like Persona 5, vanilla, back in 2013, ends the way it ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for Royal, you would have to have the Royal route be mandatory and not missable and completely canon. The Royal route is not an optional thing you can unlock or strive towards. It would just be the canon route.
Yeah.
I think the argument there is then, which one would I still be upset at Royal then? I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, okay, because that's what
Yeah.
I'm getting to, is that I feel like, just again, how Atlas released this game just is, and how we have had to deal with this entry in the fucking fandom has soured our actual perspective of this in a lot of ways that it's kind of hard in my eyes, at least. It's kind of hard to
It
really
is to
give
separate
this
it now.
to separate and give it the benefit of the doubt, because I look, I'm just gonna be real here. Persona 5, like, genuinely, I bought this on the PlayStation 3 and I had so much fun with it. So,
did.
and I didn't get my PlayStation 4 until 2020. And one of the first games I got for that was Royal, and I was having fun with it until I realized, wait, this is
the same game.
This is just the same game with, like, extra
steps.
why wasn't this a patch? Why wasn't this, like, DLC for half the price?
Yeah, why was this just updates?
Yeah,
or
that's another
an expansion.
That's a big issue in and of itself. But at the very least, I would have, like, the cope could have at the very least have been Persona 5 was on the PlayStation 3. Sony had no intention of being backwards compatible with PlayStation 3 games with the PlayStation 4 and everything. And so they released Royal as a way to keep the game alive. But at the same time, again, it also, that in and of itself would have also had its problems. Like, I don't hate the game or anything. I don't think any of us hate the game. It's just Burnout and
obviously.
Incels. It's literally, that's it. It's Burnout and Incels. That's the problem we have with this fucking game. I'll strike it out. To be honest, I didn't really even think it was gonna make the list, but I did want to make it up there as a genuine, like, talking point, honestly, because I
personally, I would probably put it at least 10 if I was making my own list. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's just like, with the way things have been, dude, it's like it's the same
There's a lot of
problem I
baggage.
have with Naughty Dog re-releasing the same fucking games. Like, but
You need a lot about that.
mhm.